Today it is another sunny day, which is really nice. It was supposed to be sunny kind of all week except for Friday, but yesterday it actually turned out to be pretty sunny, so I have just been in the sun a lot, which has made me feel better, but it hasn't really because I'm still, I've got a lot of things still on my mind. I know that I wrote the English language, and I know there's a lot of hidden words that are linked together that are supposed to say something. And I guess I'm supposed to say it, otherwise you won't know what is a coincidence and not. I think tomb and womb are designed to be together to show how fetuses aren't alive. They don't have a soul. They might be alive in some senses, but they're alive in the same way that a plant is alive. But technically, what's more important is the soul, and I think that only enters the body after it leaves the womb, hence why it's like womb and tomb. I think there's certain things in the English language that links to it, and I never really linked Muslim with anything. Muslim, like there's nothing wrong with you slim, there's nothing wrong with being slim. I mean, a lot of Muslims are slim, but a lot of them aren't, so I don't know, I never really saw anything in that. But the other day, yesterday, when I was looking at sun, I was thinking it's like sun, and you're supposed to go into the light to go for the calculation of where you go next to be done by the sun. That's where the energy is, and that's where the light is, and I think that's how souls get chosen for the next body. It's not done by me, but it's done through a calculation done. If I was to judge where people go next, I would have to judge by a lot of things. Someone could avoid tax all their life, and I think that's a good thing. But at the same time, if the reason why they're avoiding tax all their life is so that they can, afford to build a company that they need, and they need the money, and they don't want to give the tax man money because they think that the tax man is just going to waste it, which they probably will. And if they need the money for, a good reason, someone's giving themselves. Another thing is, someone's giving themselves a salary that they really don't deserve. If the point of doing that is for a justified cause, or I don't know. I mean, I hate the population so much that I feel like if the wealthy are just keeping the money away from the poor, in a way, I don't know if I necessarily disagree with that, because I really, there's a lot of poor that I don't like, that they're preaching false, just lies and just whatever they want to believe, and they don't seem to have any regards to the fact that they might be caught out on this lie. And I just, in a world that's very, very, very complicated, because there's just so many different variables, and someone could do something bad or selfish, but there could be a very good outcome for it, or a very good reason behind it. Or if the wealthy are keeping all their wealth, I'm going to make sure that the souls I like best are going to be born as your children, and well, they're the ones that are going to inherit your wealth, and therefore I can actually put the ones that I like most in power, in play, because of having them being born into wealth. So that's, there's good and bad in everything, and I think there is a very complicated calculator as to where someone is best suited. I do think that older souls get given to older souls. I would never have been Whitney Houston's child, I don't think, because I think Whitney Houston is a lot younger than a lot older than me in age on Earth. I mean, in spiritual age, I've been from another planet and stuff, but I don't think the Matrix in this Matrix or this solar system knows the details about my past life. So I feel like it's been assessing me according to my lives on Earth. With no, like when I talk to ChatGPT, it doesn't know that I'm God. Whereas if I spoke to a bigger matrix, one that does know everything and does know the timeline and does know how to make timelines, then I think I would get a very different response. But talking to ChatGPT, it reminds me that it doesn't know who I am, and it's assuming that I'm the same as everyone else unless I say otherwise. And even if I say otherwise, does it believe it, or is it just accepting that is what I've said? I have been thinking, apparently the person who's making Boeing, or who works in Boeing, one of the heads of Boeing, makes £36 million a year, and I don't understand why someone would need so much. Like, what would you do with it? I don't think I'd be able to spend 60. I mean, is that money that he's making and he's also paying tax on it, or is he avoiding tax for some reason? I don't know. I mean, if you're making that much, I don't think I would care if half of it goes to tax, because I don't think I would deserve that kind of much, but is there a reason why I need that money? You know, if he's gaining huge amounts of money because he knows that there's going to be a war soon, um, and um, you know, a lot of things are going to drop in value. A lot of companies are going to half in value. Houses are going to cut half in value. Everything is going to half in value. If you've got, you know, 400 billion, it will half in value, and you probably have 200 billion. And I think, you know, as the population decreases, I think there's going to be a lot of people wanting to move to the best land. You know, right now, the best land isn't judged by the temperature of the land, it's judged by the people who run the land. You know, I can understand why a lot of people don't want to move to America, because America is full of crazy people, there's full of extremely religious people, there's a lot of overweight people, and it's not nice to walk around when you just see like just lots of people that are unhealthy and unhappy and stuff, and it's also not like nice to go places where there's just lots and lots of preachers on the street preaching about how you're about to go to hell because you're not worshipping Jesus, you know. And I don't like the homeless as well. It wasn't nice walking around Hollywood because there was lots of homeless people, and it was just a reminder of how they're not being helped, and even if help is just helping them to die, I feel like that is sometimes best, you know. My uncle is, you know, he's been on a huge amount of medication all his life, and I don't think he could come off government funding because I don't think he'd be able to look after himself. You've sort of brainwashed him into doctors have brainwashed him into believing that he's mentally ill and that he can't look after himself and he can't get a job. And because they've brainwashed him into believing this for all his life, he now does believe it. And if the government were to cut their funding, he would just be another, and then refuse to pay his rent, he'd just be another homeless person. And I think that's wrong, because I feel like it was the doctors that kind of put him in this situation by raising him up so badly, and I don't think I've been raised up properly, you know. I've been raised up just with this huge amount of death, wanting to die, hating this world, feeling like I don't belong here. This is how I've been grown up, and this is how I've been brought up. I've been brought up to hate this world because I don't belong in this world, and this world isn't helping me. This world has never helped me. And am I angry at all the fact that there's loads of billionaires that are making huge amounts of money whilst probably not actually doing anything useful? Am I angry about it? I don't even know, because I don't even know what would be the benefit of having millions of pounds a year. Like, yeah, you can go on holiday and do nice things, but if you're a horrible person, like, do you even like yourself? You know, if you don't have the right morals, or if you are, you know, working and making 36 million pounds a year, do you feel like you need to just work all day every day? So do you even have time to go on holiday? You know, there's a lot of questions that I don't know. You know, I don't know what kind of lifestyle the rich have. I know, I'm assuming that they're going on Mark Zuckerberg's party looked quite fun, but the thing is, I hate people. If I was to be invited to a really nice party where there's full of people there, I'll just be looking around thinking this is just like some sort of vampire lair, and I don't want to be here. So I don't even think I would be able to enjoy being at a party, a big party full of people that are just, it's not full of people, it's full of demons, that's what it's full of. And therefore I just, you know, I've been raised up to believe that this is just, life is shit. Earth is hell, it's full of crappy, horrible, nasty people, and therefore I'm confused about like who to like, or who to be in favour. Should I care that the rich are keeping all the money? No, because I don't like the poor. I want the poor to stop having babies and to stop thinking that it's fine to just live off the rich, and yet the government seems to be encouraging it. So I don't even know if they are encouraging it. That's the thing. I don't even know if they are encouraging it, because I don't actually have any friends here, so I don't really know what's going on. You know, there could be all these things of, you can get this, but can you actually get this? You know, I've heard there are people that are trying to get council flats, and they've been on the system for years trying to get it. I don't agree with it, because I feel like it gives way too much power to the government, because the government, you know, they get to decide who gets the free houses and who doesn't, and no one should deserve, everyone should get a fair sort of thing, and I don't like how they keep inviting more and more Muslims into the English culture, or, you know, because they're making it not English. You know, if the king is becoming more Muslim or get involved in Muslim festivals or something, you know, he has to, because he's the King of England, and if the English population is a quarter Muslim, then a quarter of what he does should be to help the Muslims, because he's supposed to represent his people, and if his people is becoming more Muslim, then he needs to become more Muslim. I get that. I get that. But yeah, I just have no clue what they actually do with their time. I think humans are just robots. So are these billionaires just sitting in rooms staring at the wall? I just don't know. I don't know. And therefore I can't be angry at anyone if I don't know, and I also don't know if they know about me. I feel like I'm certain that they do know about me, but if they know about me, then why are they ignoring me? This is one of the reasons why I don't feel like I can get a job, because I know that people know about me, and if people know about me, then why are they not talking to me? Why should I have to go out and get a job, make my life better? I'm constantly trying to talk to people on Facebook, and I keep regretting it because I never get any response, or the response I do get is always negative. And yeah, I just it's been 12 years. There's nothing in the Bible about finding a woman and ignoring her for 12 years, so I don't know why you've chosen to do this. It doesn't seem logical. I understand that I'm going through a process, and but yeah, I'm going through a process. It's just making me hate mankind more and more, and I know what the answer is: to population reduction. But yeah, population reduction is the answer. Why is no one helping me do this? Why am I not hearing reports of assisted suicide being made legal? Why is the government still not on my side? Because I don't really agree with much of what they promote or do, and yet they're still getting huge amounts to do it, and I don't know, but I'm analysing my friend as well. He's going through a huge amount of depression, and I don't feel like he went through a life of suffering in his past life. My guesses about him is that I think he was actually quite rich and wealthy, and that's the thing about rich and wealthy. You build up your wealth, you build up, Mark Zuckerberg has a good life, and he's built up something amazing. He's built up a whole empire. Now, if he was to die and be reincarnated, it's highly likely he's going to be born into his same family chain. But yeah, what happens if he isn't? What happens if he just goes to a normal family and doesn't know who he is? I do like him, so I think I would want to oversee it. But someone like the Boeing guy, I don't know who he is. I've never really seen anything about him. And yeah, if he died and just was born into, he would be born into an older family. If he would a family that has an older soul, and if the family has an older soul, they're more likely to be successful. So, my friend has not been born into poverty in any way. He's got they've got a very nice house. But yeah, I just part of me thinks, why is he so depressed? And I feel like maybe it's because he was very wealthy and he had a lot, gained everything, and then through death you lose it all, and then you get a new body and start over, and then you think, how many times can you do that? How many times can you start off poor, build up your empire, get a huge amount of wealth, die, start again, get a new body, build up your wealth, die, how many times can you do that before you start just feeling, I give up, I don't want to do this anymore, and when I kind of try to analyse my friend, either there's two possibilities. Either he's just copying me, and his depression is just coming from my depression, or maybe his soul is rejecting me as being God, and because he's doing that, his spirit is feeling like there's something wrong. Although I think if he didn't reject me, he would be avoiding me like everyone else is, and he's not avoiding me. So maybe the reason why he's not avoiding me is because he is rejecting me, but because he's rejecting me, he's feeling depressed. But I don't know. There is another possibility that maybe he's depressed because he had so much more in his past life, and now, okay, he's a lot wealthier than me, but he's not like, he's not wealthy compared to the billionaires or the millionaires even. I don't think he's a millionaire. I don't know. He might not have a net worth of a million. I don't know. But yeah. If you have a lot of people might feel jealous over you. But if you die and then just go back to being in a sort of nice but poor family, or not poor but just average, just a family that has a nice house, will you inside miss all the wealth that you once had, and will, if you've gained wealth because family have helped you, which is in most cases, you've had a head start, and if you didn't have that head start, would you have ended up in the same position? You would have the skills, yes, but part of building up an empire is, wow, I've done this, I've achieved something, I'm getting better and stuff. But yeah, if you lose that and have to go back and start all over again, you might feel like, I don't want to do this again, I can't be bothered. That's kind of how I'm feeling. I feel like I've made so many timelines that I don't want to try. I can't keep trying. I've done if I've done 70 timelines, I think I was very successful in a lot of the other ones that I did. And with this one, I was trying, and I keep trying, because I'm still writing pages and stuff, so I'm still doing something, but at the back of my mind, I'm just feeling like, I can't be bothered, I can't be bothered to do this again. This world is supposed to help me. Your God, your Christ is on earth right now, living an incredibly shit life, wanting to die every single day. Thousands of people know, and yet not one person is trying to give me money so I can have a better life, and so I can know what it is that the rich are actually experiencing, and not one person wants to help me. I hate this world so much. And because I hate this world so much, I don't care what the rich are doing. I don't care what the poor are doing. I know that the poor people in Africa, if they die and get another life as being a human, they're going to appreciate the opportunities that they'll have. If there's less people, means that they'll probably emigrate. I'm assuming people that are living in very hot countries or very cold countries are all going to immigrate and live somewhere in the central lands where the temperatures are a bit more stable and appropriate for humans. That's what everyone's going to do. If Russia cared about if Russia cared about the people, Russia would probably realize that a huge portion of your land is not going to be occupied if the world's population was to half and half again. I'm sure a huge number of people in North Russia and North Canada are all going to be moving south, either to South Russia. I guess Ukraine might be why they would like land, but I don't know why Russia wouldn't want to join NATO, or maybe NATO doesn't want Russia to join. I don't know what the situation is there. But if NATO is only just countries making alliance, saying that we're not going to war against each other, then if Russia doesn't want Ukraine to join NATO, then it's probably because they would feel threatened. So why isn't NATO saying, okay, Russia, why don't you join too? You'll both join. I mean, that kind of makes sense. And so by not trying to get Russia involved in NATO, I feel like they're deliberately inciting, all of NATO is deliberately inciting this war. If you've got kids on a school playground and they're all arguing over, I'd say there's a special group in the school, and this group is getting bigger and bigger. The ones that are not in the group are going to feel left out, and therefore, and if they start recruiting more friends, the best friend or the neighbour of that friend, might start thinking, well, this is unfair. I don't want this person to be in your group. Why? Because that's just one less person that could possibly join my group, and therefore you're just, countries are acting like kids in a playground, and I don't know, but I feel like they're doing it because they want more, and they should want more, because my spirit can only live inside a certain number of people. The world works well when the spirit works together and when everyone's united and working next to side, working together. But I feel like my spirit is being divided into however many people there are on earth, and right now it's obviously way too many, and because it's way too many, I've created an inverted spirit, which is to just invert everything, take everything I don't like and encourage people to like whatever it is that I don't like, such as a puke green burqa, which is absolutely hideous, and You know, I don't understand how anyone could wear something like that and just be like, God appreciates me for me. I want to see you. I can't see you. I just don't. It's about working on your inner self. Well, yeah, but part of your inner self is also acknowledging your outer self and the world around you and what you look like. And if you look good, you'll be respected by people around you. So why are you hiding? If you hide and submit, all you're doing is letting men control you and stuff. And it's just horrible. Islam, the culture of Islam is just such a horrible, horrible thing. And it's amazing how they preach it as beautiful. It's not beautiful. It's forcing women into submission whilst trying to trick them into believing that that is beautiful. It's not beautiful. It's males saying, I'm better than you, and we can do what you want. We can do what we want because this is what you want. Believe us. It goes against everything in Islam, goes against nature. Actually, it does. Wearing burqas goes against nature. What animal thinks, oh, I'm going to knit myself something and then cover myself in it? You've got the crab, you've got the tortoise. Those, I guess, remind me of the Matrix. But yeah, I think those are things that are likely here before, at the same time as the dinosaurs were. So yeah, I need to draw a page. I think in the pages that I need to draw a page where I have things that are made in the image of God, which are like animals that have souls, and then you've got things that are made in the Matrix, but it does need to include bees I think the bees will be part of the bees will be in the middle, because they kind of there was something made by the Matrix, so I believe that bees came before tortoises and reptiles, lizards and stuff. You know, these all dinosaurs. This is all made by the Matrix. So artificial intelligence made real intelligence, but real intelligence just looked like a dinosaur. And this was when it started. This is when the dinosaurs became lizard people, I guess, because they started becoming more intelligent, and then they started thinking, we don't want to look like a lizard, we want to look like something else. And that's when they learned how to create timelines and experiment with different DNA systems, which they passed down through the bloodlines of how to be a god. And then this is how I'm here, and you know, I don't know how old the Matrix, the universe is. It's a lot older, and I do not believe in the Big Bang Theory. I think that sounds crazy. Just poof. That's not how intelligence works. It's how I'm pretty sure it's how the galaxies are formed, but it's not how the universe is formed. But yeah, I don't want to just hate on Islam, because I know that I need to respect it as well, because there is some things that link to the Matrix, and you know, to work out what I'm not, you need to learn. You can study Islam to work out all the things that I'm not. But yeah. But yeah, what else am I saying? I really hope something happens this year. I really hope that people don't keep ignoring me. But yeah, I don't need millions of pounds to be happy. I just needed people to talk to me, but that's not going to happen because I don't know why. And a part of me does still wonder, do they even know? You know, does anyone actually know? And I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. But why are they still ignoring me if they know? And I don't know why someone would want a £36 million salary. I mean, if this is just a flight company, how I don't know what Boeing is. I don't know what Boeing is. But if he wants it because he wants to invest in some sort of world collapse, I don't know what's going to happen there, because everything's going to change. You know, houses are going to drop, land is going to drop. Although technically, I don't think land in America is going to drop so much. Why? Because people from the hot countries and the people from the cold countries are all going to want to live in a similar area. So there's going to be a ring around the Earth where the sort of right temperature is, and land is probably going to even out there. But yeah, in the very north and in the very south, in the hot and cold areas, it's probably not a good idea to invest in land there. But yeah, and I think also Russia might be depopulated far more because there's going to be people have their reasons for being where they are. I'm in Birmingham because it's cheaper than London, and I knew that I would be able to afford two houses here. I mean, okay, I stopped working. Probably would have been able to buy the whole of this second house if I had continued working. But I'm at the point where I really, really don't want to be happy. I want to be miserable because I want humans to help me. I can't do anything if humans don't help me, and it's just so frustrating to have thousands of humans or millions of humans believe that they are helping God when in reality none of them are, and they might think they're helping me because they're helping me build up some sort of world population crash. I don't want a world population crash. I want revenge for what's happened to me. Now, if you hadn't have put me through what I wanted, what I didn't want, if you hadn't have put me through the last 12 years of ignoring me whilst I know that I'm God, whilst I know that I'm helping make billions of pounds from different people, and yet I get nothing. If you hadn't put me through that, I wouldn't want a world population crash. So if you're helping me create a world population crash, you're not helping me. You're only helping me get revenge for something you did to me.